So there was a couple of announcements. Okay, well we'll get to the big limited run showcase, but just before that, I suppose also starting this morning, they announced they showed off some more Rashid stuff for Street Fighter 6.
Rashid has a lot of stuff.
Rashid has a lot of stuff.
Has so much stuff. They're changing Street Fighter 6's controls to accommodate him.
I don't think that's true. I'm gonna call bull. Press X to doubt.
It just the timing makes it look that way.
Sadly, there's no Rashido theme, and that's my big bummer. Is, man, you had a banger that everyone loved, certified fucking classic, and you didn't.
Everybody loved it.
You didn't carry through on that momentum. What are you doing, guys? Like the lyric theme song thing. Like, it happened before, but it didn't catch on as well, because Crimson Viper had a lyric theme song too. I thought it was pretty alright, but the Rashid theme is like such a heroic, fun thing to sing along with, and I don't know why they just didn't catch on to that and prioritize it. It's bigger than the character himself, you know? Anyway, whatever. You get a big quality of life change they announced, where now after pressing a cancelable normal, you can press the parry button or medium and punch and medium kick together to get a drive rush out of it instantly. And the discourse, I was taking a look, and I saw some people were kind of like what was wrong with it before, because you tap forward generally, and I saw that change, and it's just basically you hit that button, and you'll get the drive rush out of your button. Now, it immediately made me think, oh, well, charge characters are going to get stronger because they don't have to let go of back in order to drive rush forward after pressing a button now. But a follow-up tweet said that's not true. You're going to have to go to neutral or forward, so you can't just get it while holding back. So nothing changes about what you couldn't do before. Right.
I think like instituting a button press thing that would turn like Guile into the hot, like automatically into like the strongest third strike Urian players by making charge partitioning a total non-factor would be wildly extreme. I'm glad they decided to go, no, you can't hold back. No, I mean, you can't hold back.
Charge partitions are already in the game, and some of the max damage combos involve charging back, going to neutral, doing neutral buttons, and then going forward while the buffer still allows you to.
Being able to hold back during the drive, like, come on.
But I don't think any of this is. I think I'm 90% sure that what this is an accessibility thing. Because modern controls isn't just for getting new people who don't know fighting game inputs to like do them easier. It's also for people who have disabilities to be able to do them without as much trouble and as many barriers in the way. And when you look at how modern inputs work on every other system mechanic level, they're all able to be input with buttons simply. So the drive rush cancel out of a normal was the only thing where you still needed to have fast wrist dexterity to tap forward after pressing a button. And I think this was a way of making it so that people who didn't have that fast wrist dexterity can do so in the accessibility window, you know?
There's situations that I would actually much prefer this. Like crouching normals. I would much prefer to tap medium off of like low medium punch than dash out of it.
Oh, this applies to modern and classic. And yes, I completely agree, because I'm like, oh, well, it's probably mainly for the accessibility, but it's a nice little cherry on top for everybody else who wants to buffer in wish punishes, as we call them, right? So there's whiff punishing, and then there's wish punishing, you know, where you're like, I'm hopeful that it'll work. Perfect example is when you want to clip a Dalsim limb. So a lot of the time when you're standing way back and Dalsim is throwing out limbs at you, you want to press a button and then mash forward while you're pressing it at the same time, so that if you miss, you just throw the button out and go back to standing there. But if you hit his limb, you instantly drive rush forward. And so this is a much less stressful way to do that by just tapping 1-2 1-2, while you are waiting to see if that limb's coming out. So yeah, it's going to make it quite a bit easier to confirm that stuff, and I think it's a great change. But it definitely strikes me as like an accessibility thing. I'm thinking of players that play with their mouths, and play anyone that uses an adaptive controller with like custom sized buttons and stuff, where it's like the only system you had to be quick on the directions with was just that forward.
Was dashing out of normals.
That's it. Everything else was simple input. So yeah, good
well,
stuff.
It's great.
Good
Glad
stuff.
to see it.
And smart that they made it neutral and forward only as well, because if you could charge back, then it would change characters and their balance too. So
I wonder if you can hold down. Probably not for the same thing with the charge stuff, huh?
as long it said in the tweet, it said neutral or forward.
Yeah, so you probably can't crouch and hold the crouch.
Probably not. Also, if I'm not mistaken, there's little things too that are treated differently. For example, if you go from we're getting granular, but if you parry from crouching state instead of from standing state, it costs a little bit more drive. And there's little things like that. Well, I mean, the difference between crouching and standing has been pronounced for a while. There's shit where you can punish Blanka balls or headbutts from Honda standing, but you can't do it if you're crouching because your hitbox expands and so on, or hurtbox rather. But yeah, I think you're just gonna have to let go or hold forward if you want to get this. But Rashid, we saw the spinning mixers, we saw the kick, we saw the Izar, we saw all of that wind nonsense, and you're gonna get schmixed, man. Just listen. You're gonna get schmixed. He's gonna spend some bar. He's gonna spend some meter. You're getting blown up at some point. Deal with it. Fight around it.
All the run shit almost makes me feel like they've just tucked a little bit of El Fuerte in there as well.
I mean, Rashid was the run though. Like Street Fighter V, Rashid was fucking crazy with how oppressive he could get, and taking you to the wall, and then again just angles on the dive kick, angles on the wall jump. So now we see he still can do some meterless stuff, yeah, but the double jump angles and all of that, like you're gonna get touched by it. You're absolutely gonna get touched. They had a little wild thing too, where now he can do his big tornado, but he can kick it at you faster as well. So he can run through it to speed himself up, or he can kick it towards you and then go crazy.
It's funny because we had a whole conversation last week about Jamie's dive kick, right? And how Jamie's dive kick, you can use it to fake people out because, I made a really short jump or whatever. And I'm reminded of you describing how fucked up fake fireballs are, how good they are, right? And how fake, DJ having a fake sonic boom, and shit like that. And then I'm watching Rashid's thing, and not only does he have the little wind kick that he can charge, and has a weird angle that's really annoying, right? It's like it covers jump ins, and he also has a dash follow up move.
Yeah.
That starts with a fake wind kick.
And then puts him... it makes him jump horizontally. He's dashing towards you, but he's in the air. And it's not like a Morrigan angle where he's going upwards. It's just a straightforward where he gets his aerial buttons.
It looked exactly like I was doing the little kick. But no, I'm actually sprinting at you at max speed.
You better learn the difference between the startup animations of what's going on, right? So you have to listen. Chun-Li can do something to you. Chun-Li can, while you're in the corner, do her command stance, so she can go into her stance and then go into a spinning arm overhead, right? Bop, right? And then you see that's her hand spinning, and so you're like, oh, stand up, block it. what she can do is she can go into stance and then unstance, and the twist of her getting back up looks very similar to her about to do the overhead, but there's a slight difference in the animation where her hands are. And Reggie blew me up with that, and I'm like, I have to go look at those animations and see the difference between them. You know, you have to go and just be like, if you don't want to eat this, you have to see what it looks like and recognize it on start.
I spent every single JP match, but like the last 5, getting annihilated and just getting angrier and angrier and angrier until it finally clicked. My issue was that I could not tell the difference between his little phantoms.
Yep.
The strike ones and the throw one.
Oh.
I could not see it.
Yes.
And as a result, I would just get annihilated over and over and over. And then all of a sudden, and people would tell me, like, it's this different, he says something different.
There's cues.
And it's just not happening. And then all of a sudden, I started to internalize the fact that he says away.
He has away.
Like, I knew that.
Yes.
I knew that he did that, but I couldn't internalize it. And now I hear away, and I go, "Oh, okay, go at him."
It's not just that he says away; it's the way he says it, because he says away when he's doing the cane as well. It's the way when he goes away, right? And then it's the startup has a little bit of a linger. There's a little audio cue for you, and then the color is a little bit different as well, right? So you think of your Devil May Cry sound cues for attacks and things, you know, like sound cues they matter here. JP is a character who's easier to fight when you have your headphones on. Like, you just want to hear the noises he's making, because I was fighting a set with fucking Flux, and just realizing like the difference in, like, there's moments where you're looking at each thing he's doing, you're trying to learn his pattern, and you're like, after he does this, you are entitled to one step forward, nothing else, and you have to know that, unless another thing is in front of you, a departure is in front of you, in which case hold your ground. But like when you block this, you get that, and when you jump this, you get that. Like, you have to know these little puzzle pieces and put them together, and the command grab is the interrupter to when we both know what's going on. And when I do see that, it's like, okay, I hop it, I get in, let's fuck you up, you know?
I just wanna onga JP.
I mean, like, you're playing Mr. Neutral Skip, but like JP
shout out to
I control it.
Shout out to Kinda Free, aka Eerie's, aka Den of Sin on YouTube, who sent me a video they made showing off that there are a bunch of characters that can't do anything about Jamie's sweep. Jamie's sweep at max distance. There are JP and Honda and a couple others. There's actually no button they can hit or special move they can do that will
punish it or take your turn. Okay, yeah. From the tip.
So, like, I was playing against JP, and if you hit JP with max range sweep, he can't do anything.
Fantastic knowledge. A lot of moves are really good at tip distance, you know. You want to Marissa hit him with the toe, a lot of things like that. Yeah, it changes how punishable it is, and then of course, if you know that they're used to trying to counter this after they block it, and most of the time they can hit, but you hit it with the right distance, then you know what's going to come next, and then you implement the spacing trap, right? You're going to press a button, it's not going to hit me, I'm going to blow you up for it. But yeah, anyway, let's see what happens
Street
when
Fighter seems cool.
Fucking Rashid gets thrown into the goddamn mix. I'm accepting damage. I am accepting some cross-up damage. It is what it is.
I'm wondering how far I can get with Rashid played really badly. You know, like,
you can get.
Like, I don't know what I'm doing, but you don't know what I'm doing either.
Well, here's if you implement some very core basics, which you already would have at this point, which is like counter drive impacting anyone who drive impacts you, And someone who doesn't understand the value of jumping and not jumping can be air thrown forever. So as long as someone starts panicking and jumping, you can just use any character with an air throw, like fucking Rashid, who his air throw drags you forward as well. He skates on you and moves you towards the corner. It's super sick looking. The animation is beautiful on it.
Hey man, whatever I gotta do to avoid actually getting good. Whatever I gotta do.
I mean, listen, like if you're like any grapple, like a Geef will skip neutral, but at the same time, a Jamie will force you to learn something or two about it, and then you can drive rush triple punch and call it a day. But yeah, there's always Honda if you feel like completely giving up.
I gotta learn Honda too. He's fun. He's also weirdly fantastic. This is the best Honda's ever been, right? Because he's fucking great.
He's just annoying as fuck. But like once again, it's just like if I know that you're running the brain cell, if I know that your entire game plan is headbutt, butt slam, and run in for a command grab every now and then, I have the answers, But it's just like it's gonna be like an eye roll of a match. But it's like, all right, do you got anything else? No. Well, we're just gonna do this the boring way then. They don't even need the slappy slaps. If they just want to do headbutts and butt slams, we can play that game. It's gonna be very boring. You're not gonna enjoy it. Pro tip: EX headbutt on wake up as a reversal is throwable on start.
I didn't really on start.
Yes. So if they think they can get out of trouble by doing their stupid EX headbutt, just throw the fucker. It's also
what's with this annoyance? The Honda players are respectable. They're not Blanca players. The EX headbutt is not stupid. It's a fun move. People like it.
Yes, and it is the one of the most okay, I'll tell you. Have you seen the character ranking victory chart, the matchup?
Yes, and Honda's is weirdly the top at Master with a 58% win rate. That's sky high for Master.
Because Honda and his things, which everyone's got annoying things, Honda and his things are just particularly annoying to deal with in a way that minimizes risk unless you have character-specific actions in a lot of cases or amazing parry timing. And if you don't
say, jumping in on Honda is a really bad time.
Don't do it. Don't jump in on Honda. No. Try to get perfect parry timing down, but if you can't, you have to find something else. And for a lot of people, that part sucks, And Honda, will just hang back and do his thing, and you gotta know what to deal with. So yeah, throw that EX headbutt on startup, or if you block it, it's minus 1,000 million billion. You can do your taxes, finish them, and then punish him. Yeah, just you gotta be aware when you see one, and then if you see that they're not just doing those two things only, and they are putting a game plan together somewhat, then you're like, oh shit, okay, we got to play the match, I saw Susie tweeted a bit earlier, I'm so tired of Kens. And I was just like,
I can't escape them, dude. Every day. I play ranked every single day.
We all are, sister. It's just... It's because it's incredible how much he gets to do and how little it costs him to do it. And he's also just a fan favorite, If he was not that good, he would still be popular because he's Ken. But he happens to also be unbelievable. So the force of both of those things combined is just good luck, man. It's an army.
I'm learning the Ken and Cammy and Jury matchups real well.
Yep. I think that's it though. I think like the whole Honda sort of frustration and the things you're going to feel are when it feels like there's only one or two tools that are being relied on. And it's if you play Blanca and you're just doing the ball, you're a fool because you're not using any of the amazing things he's been given. You should be doing way more than that. If you're not running the fucking the gif of a beautiful mind, at the very least, like, realize that there's a lot that people can be afraid of with that. But when it's just doskoi, doskoi, let's do it the slow way then. Anyway, that was your little Street Fighter 6 corner.
It's really funny to me that like Mike Ross is back to streaming and fighting game in it and whatnot, and he's like, "Don't talk to me about Honda," because he's so sick of Honda. And of course, this is the game in which Honda's the best he has ever been.
Honda came back. Honda came back fierce in 5 as well. It was just he came so late that most people didn't know.
Even know he was in the game.
Honda came back at the end of 5, and he was pretty fucking good.
I didn't know he was there.
Yeah. But that's what it is. That's what it is. And it's also like the legit Honda is. Like, that's a character. There's some shit there. He competes. He fucks around. Like, you gotta learn to play. But it's just 90% of the matches you're gonna have against him are against people who aren't necessarily gonna do that, and that's why that skew list is the way it is. You know, it is interesting to see like see the percentages of victories broken up by character, by rank. And then, like, the methodology is done with a 2% confidence interval.
It's also really weird because, like, all the numbers don't add up correct. They add up quite incorrect, in fact.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, because the percentage of wins here has to account for the wins it took to get to this rank.
Yeah. And then there's also like the fact that you're going to have cross rank victories too, you know. Mm-hmm. Anyway, what else is going on?
It's really interesting to me how I've been playing like a lot. I'm still stuck in platinum, and that's fine. I'm having a lot of fun matches, but like I'm plat 2 or 3 depending. Mm-hmm. And seeing the difference between people who are at plat 1 and plat 3 is like night and fucking day. Like these ranks have absolutely sorted themselves out. It's fascinating.
Yeah, it's just, but it's always just averages though, right? Because
sure.
I in Diamond 3 is when they start introducing master into your.
Oh, they're willing to link you up with master opponents.
I did not see any master opponents at Diamond 2, but as soon as I hit 3, I that's where it's like, oh, okay, that's about the threshold. And it was interesting because like I beat 1, and the reward in points for beating master is like through the fucking roof, you know. And then losing to master again, it skews back down. But the fact that like there was one person who would like this, so that person who I fought who was in that category was like, oh, you don't necessarily feel like this, but it could just be matchup. It could just be, you know, a bunch of other factors. But the ranking is always as the Brian F video said, it's like your ranking is accurate to what you are, but what you are is going to be a mixture of all attack, all defense, all well-rounded, yada yada, you know.
The game told me after my placements that my DJ was Diamond 3.
Right.
And then I spent a good long while just earning my way back down to reality because my DJ is not Diamond. So I can just imagine people in Diamond being, oh, fucking DJ. Oh. And then they whooped my fucking ass. No problem. Like, oh, well, weird.
There are definitely matches where you hit somebody in like Diamond 1 or so and you're going like, okay, so you just got placed here. I can, within about a game, it's like, okay, yeah, I can see you just got placed here. And there's a huge difference there versus, like, it's like, oh, no, okay, like, you're at 2, you're doing some stuff. It's, you know, whatever's going on. Anyway.
Hey, I have one last thing to say about Street Fighter. I've been playing a lot of Street Fighter lately. And it says a lot about how much I've gotten back into Street Fighter. I didn't know that the FF14 relic weapons came out today.
Wow. How about that?
I was scrolling through my friend's Discord and someone put up a video of here's what they all look like. And I'm like, today?
The retirement home.
Weird.
The retirement home awaits. Uh-oh. Time to bust out of this joint. Fucking knock over the orderlies. Steal one of these vans and get back down to the tournament.
It's just so easy to sit down and play like 4 matches and then go back to doing something else.
It feels great. It feels great.